back to another episode of Cooking with Lawn. Today I have another Thanksgiving recipe to add to the two that we already did this month. So if you missed it, 2 weeks ago we did a carrot cake cheesecake. I just really can't wait to dig into that on Thanksgiving. And then just last week we roasted an entire chicken with garlics and herbs, and we put it on a bed of potatoes and carrots. So if you've missed those last two recipes, then I suggest you go watch those now and then come back and tune in, because today I have another treat for you. We are making the Ruths Crust sweet potato casserole, and I am so excited. I don't know if you guys have ever went to Ruths Crust and tried this casserole, but it is so delicious. It's sweet, it's creamy, and then the nuts on top has like a crunchy and sweet flavor. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in this casserole, and I just cannot wait to show you how to make it. So thankfully, Ruths Crust actually puts a few of their recipes on their website, and this happens to be one of them. So although this isn't my recipe, I would like to show you how to make it and create it at home, just in case you want to move your regular old candy yams to the side and serve this for Thanksgiving instead. And it's a very simple recipe, so if you want to go ahead and get started, let's go. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and peel and chop up my sweet potatoes. Thankfully, it's that time of year where sweet potatoes are on sale now, so you can pretty much find them at any one of your local grocery stores. And so I'm just going to go ahead and peel off the skin first before we put them in to boil. So you don't have to boil these. You can also put them in the oven like you would a baked potato, or you can put them in the microwave. Just pierce a few holes in them with a fork and throw them right in the microwave. But since I have three, I don't feel like waiting around for the microwave 3 different times. So I'm just gonna peel them, cut them, and put them in the boiling water. Going to do is cut the sweet potatoes into smaller pieces, because that's going to ensure that they cook evenly, and it's going to cook faster when I chop them into small pieces instead of just putting them in there whole. And I already got my water in the back boiling, and it's ready for these potatoes. Alright, now these are ready to go into the hot boiling water. So these are going to boil away for about 20 minutes until you can stick a fork in them and they come out with no resistance. While we're waiting on the sweet potatoes to boil, let's get started on the topping. So I have some melted butter here, and to the melted butter I'm going to add my pecans. You can add whatever nuts you want, but pecans are what they serve at Ruths Crust, and I think they go really well with sweet potatoes, so I would advise using the pecans. And then I'm also going to add some brown sugar and some flour. And that's it. That's the crust. That's how simple it is. And then we're going to mix it up with a fork. Get all this good flavor going in here. And it's already kind of like clumping up a little bit. And that's what you want to see. Is exactly how you want to see it. Alright guys, so I don't know if you can see this steam right here, but our sweet potatoes just came out of the boiling water, and they literally took like 12 minutes to cook up, I guess because of how small I cut them. So I'm gonna just let these drain and toss them into my mixing bowl here. And to this, I'm going to add some regular white granulated sugar. Also going to add some melted butter. It's a lot of melted butter in this recipe. I'm also going to add some vanilla extract. Oh, I done dropped the top in there. Vanilla, a pinch of salt. Salt will help like break up the sweetness a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and beat up 1 egg. I was very surprised. I set out my cinnamon and then I just looked back at the recipe and I realized there's no cinnamon in this recipe. So it'll be interesting to see how it tastes without that like hint of cinnamon, because I'm definitely used to having cinnamon in my sweet potatoes. All right, and that's 1 egg. So you can go ahead and chop this up. Like if you have a potato masher, you can use that. You can use like the back of a fork, but I'm gonna use my like cake mixer, and because I think it'll like get all the lumps out if there are lumps. And you know, sometimes sweet potatoes are a little bit stringy, so I don't want any of that going on in here. So I'm gonna use my hand mixer. Looks so good. This is already smelling so good. It smells like sweet potato pie in here. And I already have my oven back there preheated to 350 degrees. So I'm gonna spray my baking dish with some Pam so that it doesn't stick. You can also line it with butter if you want. And I need a spoon. So we're gonna scoop this right into the baking dish. Oh my gosh, this looks really good. It's so nicely pureed. I would really recommend using a hand blender if you have one. So I'm gonna just put a little bit more. I can basically use all of it, might as well. So I'm gonna just smooth this out. It's looking nice and creamy. And then on top of that, I'm going to add our pecan mixture, our pecan topping. Ooh, this is looking awesome. All right. So this is what our casserole is looking like right now. It has all those beautiful sweet potatoes at the bottom and that nice moist pecan crust at the top. So we're going to put this in the 350 degree oven for about 30 minutes until the top is nice and golden brown and crunchy. I took the sweet potato casserole out of the oven and I am ready to try it. I made sure to let it cool down for about 30 minutes before I scooped it out because it was so hot. But I love how it looks. I love that the creamy sweet potato is at the bottom and that crust on top almost looks like a cookie or something. But either way, I am ready to dig in. So I think I want to taste the sweet potatoes first and then I'm gonna try them both together. Really creamy. I love that it's not too sweet because I'm not too much of a sweet person, but I love that it has a hint of sweetness. And the sweet potatoes are so creamy. Now let me try it with the topping. The topping sets it off. The topping is almost like a crunchy, soft, gooey kind of cookie. It's really good. And when you pair it with the sweet potatoes aren't too sweet, and then the crust on top just gives it the perfect amount of sweetness. Alright guys, so that wraps up another Thanksgiving recipe on this episode of Cooking with Lauren. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure that if you haven't already, go check out our other 2 recipes from this month so that you can be caught up. And I will catch you next week, same time, same place, different recipe. Bye guys.